Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world are Rise News analysts Emmanuel Efeni and Dashiwale. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, Cynthia. Good afternoon, Vimbai. Good afternoon, Dio. Good afternoon. Yes, we'll start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. Coincidentally, still the same story, the lead story. Tinubu speaks with grieving Herbert Wigwe's parents, comfort couple. Ghana's President Akufo-Addo calls, offers condolences. We lost a gem, bright star, Oshibaju, Obaseki, and Yauko declare. Kogi, Cross River governors, Zenith Bank commiserate with families, Access Holdings. You are irreplaceable, says ex-emir of Kano, Sanusi, emir of Zauzau. His death, a great personal loss. Herbert was a first-class guy. Wale Tinubu, yes, condolences still pouring in to the family of the late Herbert Wigwe and the family of Ogubanjo on this ill-fated air crash. And right on the front page of this day, you can see the photograph of Chief Ezenwanyenson Wike condoling with Mrs. Stella Wigwe, the mother of the late Herbert Wigwe, and his only daughter, Tochi. Yes, Nyenson Wike is a kinsman of Herbert Wigwe, the whole Ikwere tribe. Of course, Nyenson Wike, one of the big men of the Ikwere tribe right now, and of course, Herbert Wigwe was a shining star, not only of the Ikwere nationality, but also of Rivers State, Nigeria, and indeed Africa. So the condolences still pouring in. The president, they're calling, making that call to Pastor Shingo Wigwe and Mrs. Stella Wigwe, the parents, to condole with them. The condolence can never be too much. Because, yeah.
And just before you move on from that, I know we always look at the front page, but on the back page, I thought there was a beautiful tribute by Ijoma Nwogogo telling Mrs. Chizoba Wigwe's story, and it was beautiful to read it because she was a force in her own right and had, built a beautiful business empire, devoted mother, devoted wife as well. So I thought that was, as much as, there's been a lot of emphasis on Herbert Wigwe, understandably so, it was beautiful to also put a persona to Chizoba Wigwe, who had also done phenomenally well for herself in her lifetime.
Yeah. And even the son, and every soul that perished through. And I was very upset the way the picture of the crash was shown the other time.
Well,
really didn't like that.
Well, it's part of the story. Yes, hence viewer discretion was advised, right? But that you're in the studio, so you have to see it. Otherwise, you could have just. But it's part of the developing story.
Moved. No, it's part of it. I'm a human being.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And so bad. So bad. See the remains.
The wreckage. Yeah. Well, we'll continue to send our condolences to the families of all who perished in that crash, because the fortitude to bear this loss is what we'll just continue to pray for them. Well, the Punch newspaper has a story on the crash also. Above the masthead, Wigwe crash report ready, March. Kingsmen declare 8-day mourning. Now, the lead story of Punch, cost of living, federal government NLC meeting deadlocked. Bakers threaten shutdown. Strike will go ahead. Federal government negotiations not fruitful. NLC leaders insist. Federal government warns against unrealistic demands as labor seeks yearly pay rise. Well, the meeting between labor and government, Dio.
That's an ongoing story.
Yes, so, but Labour insisting that the strike will go on after the ultimatum they have given.
Yes, and government doesn't want Labour to hold the dagger of a strike over his head during negotiations. I hope they are able to sit down and at the end get something implementable as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so
because a lot of people are criticizing NLC as well to say this time around it seems that you may be mismanaging the responsibility that you have. You know, numbers being thrown around 1 million naira minimum wage, 400,000 naira. Listen, everybody wants the best possible number for minimum wage, but we also have to be realistic.
But that's not the reason why they are going on strike. The reason why they want to go on strike is because they had an MOU with government.
Yes, it's a continuation of a meeting.
And the agreements reached then, what government will implement as palliative for the most, government has not kept to its own side of the bargain. Hence, they're talking about, they've given government a 14-day ultimatum. And they say if government cannot meet those items it signed, for which they pulled out of their strike, for which many also criticize Labour. So,
you see, Labour is using all the tools of collective bargaining. Get me? And because it's under pressure, that it is playing ball with government, and the workers are the workers' patience. Their patience is running out. So Labour is under serious pressure.
Well,
yeah. And it is government. See, in my own view, I think government has more to lose than Labour in this thing. It's government that should play ball and put something on the table for workers. Get me? To assuage the suffering going on now. The sooner they reach an agreement, the better.
So the ball is in the government. The ball is in the government's court.
To play ball.
Okay, now the New Telegraph newspaper. Jakpa, 42,000 nurses, midwives left Nigeria in 3 years. Well, according to report, says average nurse earns 135,000 naira a month. But before we round off, we just look at the Daily Trust newspaper. Bandits kill 2 policemen, abduct 40 in Zamfara. Family of 21 among captives. So the bandits still having a free reign in our terrain. I hope
every story is annoying.
Don't say it's depressing.
It's not. I won't say depressing. It's annoying because we need to see more from this government. It's crazy to see bakers threatening to shut down. I don't know when last I saw something like this, but we need to see more action from the government. But for now, we'd like to thank you both, gentlemen, for your review. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel Efeni, Mr. Darshibale. Thank you so much.